Hi everybody, it's December 18th, 2025. Many times at the end of the road that we feel that we come upon many times in this life, we experience something. It may be grand, it may be anticlimactic, it may be medium in its in the emotions that it brings up into you, but after a while you notice that in this life there is no endings. Things continue, and many times they continue almost like nothing has even happened to you, or like as if there was no tragedy, there was no winning, there was no conclusion. Your life at the endings of these at these points in your life, they're just continuations, and they and what they do is they manufacture a mindset in you, and if you don't catch it, you will forget what you learned. You will forget what you've been through. You will forget what you accomplished. And so the trick is not to look at endings of situations as endings. They are just points in which reality shifts and moves fluidly. Because if we were observing this with no attachment to the situation or no consequence to us, it would just look like a series of events unfolding just like normal life. But internally, we are driven by a story narrative where there's a beginning, middle, and end. And that's how we look at life. But there are no endings and there are no beginnings and there is no middle, really. It's just existence. It's just living and moving through this world with your spirit inside of your body. So when you think things are ending, you have to come to the realization that there's an immediate step that you have to take after that. And I'm not saying you can't relinquish your control and just enjoy the spoils of your toil. I'm not saying that, but you have to realize that there is no endings and that you're going to have to convert your energy into new areas of your life, even after the greatest accomplishment and even after the greatest devastation. And so that gets me to thinking about the Murphy's Law spiritualized. Murphy's Law obviously is anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And when you take a look at this spiritually, you might wonder what that means. So one of the good attributes to have in life is to be resourceful. So if you are spiritually resourceful, when something goes wrong, you don't break down, you don't quit, you don't lament, you simply get energy from your spirit and remedy the situation or carry the situation forward when something goes wrong. And if you can anticipate something going wrong spiritually, you start to develop a latent psychic ability. I'm not saying you'll be able to read people's minds or predict the future with any accuracy, but it's a foresight spiritually where you can sense what is going to go wrong and you plan ahead of time to mitigate that. And when you use your spirit in that fashion, your spirit starts to speak to you. It starts to reveal clues to you, and it gives you inspiration for the future so you can build upon the future in a successful way, in a more beneficial way, in a more accurate and affluent way. And affluent, I mean by being greater at your abilities. And so what this does is this gives you skill. This gives you mastery of your life when you are looking at when Murphy's Law is spiritualized. And it's like I said, it's almost like a foresight. It's like a gift that you acquire where in your spirit you fear no calamity. You look forward to dealing with it, and you look forward to conquering over it. So that's Murphy's Law spiritualized in one aspect. And another aspect of Murphy's Law spiritualized, you start to wonder about people, because you could apply Murphy's Law to situations, but once you start applying it to people, you might get confused and think that people aren't real, or they aren't, that they don't have spirits like you, because Murphy's Law applies to them too. Whatever goes wrong with the person, whatever may go wrong with the person, meaning with them or a relationship with them, or how they treat you, whatever can go wrong will go wrong. And so you start to predict and foresee what people are going to do, or how they are going to let you down, or how they're going to upset you, or how they're going to love you, or how they're going to befriend you, and how they're going to gain trust. And so Murphy's Law Spiritualized applies to people. And you have to remember that even though you can kind of foresee how they are going to respond to you or how they're going to act, they are spiritual beings, and you have to respect them, and you have to understand that just because the nature of reality applies to another spirit, another human, it doesn't mean that they aren't autonomous, that they don't have a spirit. It's just the nature of your perception in this realm. Certain laws apply to everything and to everyone. So you have to remember to treat people with respect, and just because you expect them to do something does not mean that they can't surprise you and gift you with comfort and gift you with personal affection. And lastly, I would say Murphy's Law Spiritualized is in the overarching situation of your life. You cannot apply it to God, because God, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit is not out to fool you, but they are so innately implanted into your spirit that it's almost like how they, I forgot the exact term, but when you look at an electron, the behavior of that electron changes once it's observed. And so God, in a sense, is like that. When you try to observe his actions in his in the parts of his life that he puts in front of you and that he makes you go through, or he allows you to go through, when you observe it and try to quantify it and predict it, your observation is going to change his behavior, because he is your reality. He is your life. He is the story of your life. And you can't, with any accuracy, foretell what he's going to do, because if you could, your life would be incredibly boring and fruitless, because you knew everything was going to happen, or you could guess at it and sometimes get it right. But with him, your sight is his sight, and so your life is special and incredible. So with Murphy's Law, it doesn't apply to God, because his story for you is a mystery, and inside that mystery is revelations that give you the fruit to go on and on in your life, because there is no ending. So I hope this helps. Thanks.